Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
The first thing I want to get into is talking about intraday mode. What it was designed for. Keep in mind, this is not an intraday account, and this account was running traditionally Einstein before on EJ, and we switched it over to GearBox using some of the intraday modes. So this is actually just running skip a level, but I only have the 3 pairs, not the 6. But you can choose to run them. So let's talk about the strategies and what's going on here. So here are the 2 different strategies. You have your instant entry and your skip a level. And then these are the 6 pairs. Now, if you're using instant entry, you're going to choose 3 pairs and only run 3. If you're using skip a level, you can run 6, but you're only allowing 3 max to trade at a single time. So again, the reason that I chose many of these pairs is because of the Forex volatility, the way that they move, the average daily true range. There's a lot of different factors from forward testing to back testing to just historical data that suggests that these are ideal candidates for a strategy where you're going to be entering early. And you might say, okay, well, what is instant entry? Well, I mean, instant entry is as simple as it is. You're entering the trade as soon as you drag it on the chart, right? So if you were to go put it on, let's say EJ, all right, you're going to put it on the chart. It's going to enter on the first trade. And I mean, you can see how that went bad on Einstein. I railed a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 stop loss, right? That's 5 stop losses that were ran through. But EJ most of the time makes a lot of profit, but every once in a while it will have that period where you're going to run through some stop losses and it's not going to be fun. But when you look at the other pairs there, all the others are very stable. EJ just does produce a lot of profit, so it does outweigh its risk potential. But you look at Euro USD and USD CAD, and all of these have performed phenomenally well with instant entry or skip a level strategies. But the key is, again, in choosing which pairs you do want to run if you're going to run skip a level. So if we were going to go set up, let's say a skip a level account, right? Let's just close all this, pretend this is a fresh account. You're going to go over here and you're going to go ahead and choose, all right, the pairs that you want to open. So if you were doing instant entry, let's actually look at something. So when it comes to instant entry, the only time instant entry really fails is going to be on correlation. So if we go to correlation, and I mean, this is the same for precision. Correlations where strategies can get into rough times, but for instant entry, we're maybe looking 85% and 85%. And we're looking at the daily time frame. And let's take a look at the pairs that we're choosing. So ideally, if you're using instant entry, or you're going to kind of want to choose the pairs that aren't as correlated together. You're going to choose 3 of these. But, you know, if we were to go take a look and say, let's go look at EJ and then Euro USD. All right, they're fine to run together, right? Their correlation isn't that high and they're not connecting that well. So EJ, perfect. Or I mean, EJ and EU, not UJ. Don't trade UG or UJ. UJ is very, very USD JPY is not ideal anymore for strategies like this. All the JPY pairs, for the most part, besides EJ, are pretty, you know, just not ideal right now. But then let's come down and let's also look at, say, USD CAD. Where are you at? USD CAD's here. All right, an 87% and negative 91. What do we have in those 2 slots here? AJ and Euro ED. Okay, perfect. Well, we know that we're not doing this. So we're good. Let's go into CAD CHF. CAD CHF, AJ highly correlated. EJ is highly correlated. So maybe if you were doing instant entry, you wouldn't choose to run CAD CHF and EJ at the same time. If you're using skip a level, obviously you're still running them at the same time. You're putting yourself in a bit of a risk, but you're also skipping the first level. USD JPY we're completely avoiding, and CAD CHF you can see is highly correlated with it. So this is data for you to understand, the more advanced strategy and kind of choosing, hey, what pairs should I trade of these? But these are pairs that have performed well with this strategy individually. But remember, the more pairs you mix together, trading at the same time, and the higher risk and lot size, obviously all takes you down the edge of getting into riskier waters. So you want to be able to be pretty smart with it. But then, so if you set up instant entry, you're going to choose your 3. If you set up skip a level, you're going to set up your 6. And then the lot size is a little different for intraday than precision. On intraday, you'll notice we're saying 0.01 per $3,000 balance. All right, that's correct. If you're using intraday settings, you're using a 0.01 per 3K. And if you have a larger balance, getting into, say, the 10, 25, 30,000 range, and you're using intraday strategies, you should be at 0.01 per 5,000. Just because you inherently are putting more lots in the market, you're more exposed to the market, you're staying in the market longer. So it makes sense to use lower lot sizes. Now, if you're using any balances below $1,000, please make sure you're only trading 1 to 2 max pairs at a single time. Anything under 500, 1 max pair trading at the same time. If you're using multiple pairs on a $500 account at the same time, you're just asking for a bad day. You don't have enough equity and skin in the game to survive any kind of major move. It's more like gambling and luck. And here we're not about gambling and luck. We're about wealth creation and solid opportunities and strategies to see success. So we'll get back into the VPS here and shut these ones down. So if we come into this VPS, obviously we got our manager. Again, ignore the EJ trades. These are all from prior strategies. This is all right now skip a level, as you can see. 1 entry, 2 entry. But if we go ahead, let's go ahead and let's just set up, skip a level, or we'll even we'll start with instant entry. So instant entry here, we'll come over and we're going to open Euro USD. We're going to open EJ. And for me, I feel like I want to do USD CAD, but at the same time, I want to be on the other side of, too much correlation. So I might not, but for me, I'm probably going to choose USD CAD as my third weapon. Now, the only thing to be aware of is you're trading 2 USD pairs too. So also splitting risk outside of correlation, sometimes you're going to want to split it to where you're not trading pairs that are going to be affected by the same news, in which case you might say, oh, CAD CHF, for example, right? Might be a great option here. And we're going to set those up. And again, we're always going to use the daily time frame. The daily is the best for, these strategies. Now, you can use the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to play both sides of the market more. You're more likely to hedge. You're more likely to trade both directions. Now, I'm going to pause auto trading just because I don't want to take a new trade immediately, but I'm going to just go ahead and hit instant entry. And how you can verify everything is set up properly, as always, is first you're going to make sure the smiley face is smiling. Mine is not, because I just turned auto trading off while we did that. But we're going to come over here, and if you see gears above -1 and -1, you are an instant entry strategy. Now, let's say I want to go to skip a level and add the other pairs here. Let's take a look. USD CAD's not even on here. Oh, there it is. Chart window, NZD CHF, chart window, and AUD NZD. Same concept. I'm going to go back over here to the manager, and I'm going to apply skip a level. Now, you're going to want to make sure, again, your lot size is 0.01 per 3K. You can see that I am doing that. I do have that balance. I do have that lot size and setting. You're going to want to make sure of that. That's very important. And then that's really the intraday strategy. So you're getting in more trades, you're getting in trades sooner. But remember, the most accurate modes are always going to be precision modes. Precision modes are always going to be the most accurate, but skip a level can get you in and out of trades, a lot more trades, possibly making more profit, but inherently your risk might be a little bit higher, which is why I tell people intraday modes are going to be for a more hands-on user, somebody who understands the markets, understands Forex a little bit, has had experience with these products or used expert advisors in the past. And through that, they can easily start to apply different strategies. Whereas you see on Precision, EJ, we're not entering until sniper mode gear 5. I mean, we're waiting for a large move in Precision on sniper to enter, even swing gear 4. But you can get in on 0 and 1 if you're using intraday. So again, remember, the risk is just higher if you compare it to the pairs that we do run. Also, keep in mind your balance. If you're using instant entry strategy, you're only using one pair for 1,000, two for 2,000, three for 3,000. Skip a level with 1,000. You can scan all of them and trade 3. Still riskier. I would probably still, limit them, but kind of up to you. But definitely with instant entry, always limit. Let me tune into the chat and the Q&A real quick. I see we have some stuff. Paul, great question. Paul said a few questions for you this week in GearBox. Can you explain what a gear A and gear B means? So the easiest way I can explain this to you, Paul, is A is going to be it looking to trade with the trend, and B is going to be it looking to trade counter trend. So it can do a little bit of both, but we don't allow them to exist at the same time. So that's the difference between our algo and some other ones in the market. Is sometimes they would do both methods and end up trading the same direction. So what I mean by that is maybe you were already in a trend trade that went against you on USD JPY, and you were to buy and it fell. Now all of a sudden the counter trend trade tricks in, and let's say it kicked in a sell too, or it kicked in a buy too, and it keeps crashing, right? Now you're double the trades going the wrong direction. Well, with GearBox, we don't allow them to exist at the same time. So you can only be in a gear A going one direction or gear B going one direction. Somebody said, can you talk about my settings? It's sniper entry range. All right, yeah. So this is the intraday call, boss. Tomorrow's the precision call. You'll want to tune in anything involving precision modes. That's Friday's call. Today's intraday. Carrie, I'm new with GearBox. I've been running for 2 weeks with no action. You mentioned once we have to manually manage trades. Do I need to be doing anything? Well, if you have no trades, there's nothing to manually manage. So the question is, have you verified your setup, made sure everything's perfectly running, all the things are dotted and the I's checked, such as auto trading is on. You got to the experts tab. You can ignore the error modifying TP message right now. That's actually irrelevant. It actually doesn't mean anything right now. But if you don't see it actually trading, taking ghost trades, modifying ghost trades, all this stuff, there could be an error. Now, if it's doing that and you see ghost trades, here's another way to see ghost trades. You go over here. This isn't ghost trading because trading is not allowed right now. But to go to EJ, you'll see because all these are on -1 right now because I just reloaded it. No fun. Go to another VPS. But you'll be able to basically see here if you see a number higher than -1 in these columns, you're ghost trading. Things are working as they should be carried. Just hasn't gotten any real trades. That's possible. The only thing you can do when you're not getting real trades is lower the time frame. If you're in precision mode and you're not getting the trades you want, you can always lower to H1 or H4. You're more likely to get trades. It's not as accurate, but you are more likely to get trades. Paul, are there any types of other trades GearBox opens other than Gear A and Gear B? Does GearBox open hedge trades? Absolutely. GearBox can play both sides of the market. A great example, let me stop sharing my screen. I'll give you an example real quick of what I mean. This is a precision account I'm about to show, but to answer your question, I'm going to my other VPS. Hold on. It's Neo. Ignore that real quick. Perfect. Here's a great example. So I love this example right now. You can see this is a GBP NZD trade that honestly I'm probably about to just close in profit because it's literally about to hit my take profit. In fact, I'm going to take a look at this on my phone. But one trade, quick 1%, right? Pretty cool, but let me take a peek at this trade real quick. I'm looking on my phone. We're not even 10 pips yet from take profit, but how close are we? I mean, we're really, we actually almost tapped it. I'm just going to close it. In these cases, sometimes I just close the trade. And there we go. I just made $100. So happy day. The point I was showing you there, though, is that was a level 6 trade that was open. That was a sell. All right. And it sold down. But if you look right here, you can see we're on buy 5. Well, my entry settings are to enter on gears above 6, meaning 7, meaning that right now it has a strong possibility right here to actually get into that next potential trade opportunity, which is really crazy. So yeah, you'll see that it sold down, and at the same time, you see my sell just cleared to -1, and my buy is still going. So now it moves a little bit more down to the downside, but when I hit my take profit, now the buy is going to trigger, and I'm going to ride it back up. So GearBox can play both directions. There are times where a buy and a sell might exist at the same time. Oftentimes what I see is a very similar scenario to what I just mentioned, where you finally get near your take profit and then GearBox hits the trade, go the other direction to play it back up, which is really cool. Really cool feature. So decide how you want to handle that risk and management plan. But this is an account that's just running for the best performing pairs, right? It's very conservative. It barely gets into trades. It's not that exciting for some people, but as you saw, one trade just made me close to 1% on a larger account. So I'm just trading these 4 green guys right here on this account. Like I said, doesn't take a lot of trades, but it's very conservative. It's a good strategy. It's probably how I would manage $1 million account, to be honest with you. Let's go. Great question, Andy. He said, if I switch to intraday and have open positions from sniper, Andy, remember, intraday is inherently riskier, right? You've been seeing a lot of success on precision modes. What I'm going to tell everybody is I would never switch from precision to intraday. I would start a second GearBox account for intraday. Intraday is not meant to be your main account, and it is not really meant to be your account you use on a large account like the one you have, Andy. Intraday is more for people that need to see trades, that have smaller capital, and they want to see trades immediately. They need to see trades. They don't understand what me and you understand, Andy. But again, if you're going to use intraday mode, I would do it on the second account. I would not stop doing what you're already doing. Paul, there aren't indicators or parameters built in that need to be hit to open those higher trades. At a high level, it's really as simple as, did the market move X amount of pips against the base algorithm? So remember, there's a base algorithm, which is what, if you put instant entry on, is trading. But if you use precision, that same base algorithm is now trading behind the scenes in the Ghost server. And then all we're saying for those entries to open is, did that amount of pips move? So like gear 6 here on GBP NZD, we're waiting like 400 pips minimum before we even enter a trade on GBP NZD. If you go gear 7, you're waiting like 550, right? We're really waiting a large amount of pips with no retracement into a trade, or no sufficient retracement, I should say, not no retracement, not a sufficient retracement before you get in. So we're looking to play reversals more in precision modes. Intraday modes are really looking to play short counter trends and just get in and out. Obviously, you're going to get in some drawdown. They're going to swing. You'll probably go 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, boom. Gear 0, 1, 2, 3, boom. Gear 0, 1, 2, 3, boom. So we're GearBox in precision mode. Excuse me. I'm going to get some allergies lately. GearBox in precision mode is missing all of these trades, right? If things are going 0, 1, 2, 3, boom, back. You're just missing a lot of profit opportunities, but at the same time, you're keeping your account safe, because there's also the times where you look in, okay, even though this could have made profit, now it went to here. And somebody on Super Sniper is like, this is the best thing ever. I'm going to make so much money. And somebody else who was on instant entry, which you're never going to trade GBP on instant entry, but the point in explaining it is you'd be crying, and you don't want to cry. So stick to the pairs for, the instant entry strategies here that we have. and the pairs and everything, and decide, to kind of run that way based on what you see. So, again, it's just intraday is meant to be used as a second strategy. Please do not come in and use intraday as your main strategy unless you really just need to see trades and you're impatient and you want to see trades. Then absolutely, intraday can come in and make you some money. But again, it is a more advanced strategy. It is something that will continue to support and advance because it does work. It can make you great money. I do believe in it, but at the same time, there's definitely times where it can fail. So it's big for us to watch on that stuff. Paul, great question. He says, I have someone on an Einstein account this week and she wants to switch to GearBox this weekend. She has lots of open Einstein trades. I understand GearBox will manage the Einstein trades, correct? Will GearBox open GearBox trades as normal? Just ignore the open. And no, so GearBox will actually manage the Einstein trades. So if we go back to my other VPS here, ignore the messages there. EJ, you'll see these were Einstein trades. Sell trend level 6, sell trend level 7. And then you'll see right here that sell gear A level 8 open, which was the sell trend. And it just picked up and managed those trades. So it'll pick up and manage them. Now, let's say she switches and sets up GearBox on precision mode, right? So she sets up her precision mode account. And wow, look at this account up 6% this week, little small account. Don't mind me getting excited about things like that. But you can see right here, this account, I could close out all these trades right now for a profit. It almost makes me want to. But look, here's an example of hedging. EuroCAD buy 4 and a ton of profit. But what did it do? Just open the sell. So if we actually went and looked at EuroCAD, right? Okay, boom. We're riding it back up. Buy. Getting close to our TP. And then we're going to ride it right back down. But honestly, yeah, I'm just going to close a lot of these out, to be honest with you, because they are, sometimes I manually close trades. And today is one of those days that we're going to do it while we're on this call. Just because it's good to sometimes close trades. Take your profit off the table. See a EuroCAD. I will take the money and run. Let's look at these other sequences. NZD CAD. I could close it out in a profit right now. But let's take a look at the chart. Yeah, we got some room to go to TP. I'll let that one keep running for now. That's in some buys. So yeah, we'll let that one keep running. And then EuroCAD just opened its sell. We'll let the EuroCAD sell keep running. But the point is, and showing you guys this stuff, that's kind of how that would work. But we've, like I said, Paul, if she was managing, looking to get into precision or intraday or any mode, essentially it would continue to manage the open Einstein trades as they are. It would count how many open Einstein pairs they are. And then if there's an open spot on the max pairs, so like, let's come into here real quick. If we come in here and the max pairs trade at the same time is 4 or 3, and she only had 2 pairs open, okay, it would open the third. If she had 3 pairs open and this was 4, it would be able to open 1 precision mode trade or a new GearBox trade, but still continue to manage the Einstein trades. Let me check the chat here. Awesome. I'm going to get right into the news for the upcoming week. Let's take a look at the pairs we're trading. Remember, this is a precision account right here. Look at that small balance up 6% in the week. Precision mode, baby. Let's go. Like I said, I love intraday mode too, but it's precision mode is like a big brother that's been going to the gym every day, 3 times a day for a year, and you've just been chilling, watching Netflix. That's the difference. All right, let's get into Forex Factory. All right, take a look at the news for the upcoming week here. So the 10th, there's 17th, let's apply. All right, so let's take a look at our pairs we're running. So see, we got a CAD pair in here, 2 of them. Awesome, we got CAD news, business outlook survey, Monday. Go down, we got USD pairs, we got 2 of them. All right, we got CPI and core CPI. We got an NZD pair. We got rate statements. We got an AUD pair. We got employment and unemployment change. It's actually funny that we literally have news on, I mean, we do predominantly have the most major countries here in our strategies here. And the reason for that is these pairs have performed well, and they also, most of them have higher liquidity for the most part. And when we look at that, we want to tend to stick to some of the pairs that have more stable liquidity. Like, you know, if you guys don't know, Euro USD is one of the most liquid currency pairs in the entire market, right? So we want to stick to some of those, and that obviously is going to affect us this week. It looks like there's some good red folder news around those events. So personally, for me, if I was using intraday mode, I might even limit my max pairs depending on the size of my capital, just because there are some red folders for sure every day for each of the pairs we are pretty much trading here. Paul, great question. He asked about the GearBox drawdown calculator. Paul, give me a second and I will actually get that pulled up. I just got this. This is a brand new iMac that we're on here, and I don't have this file on this computer. It's on my MacBook, but let me grab it real quick, and I can absolutely do a walkthrough of the GearBox drawdown calculator to assess your risk for intraday and instant entry. So let me pull that up here. Just give me 1 second. Links. Shared in this chat. Let's see. There we go. You need access. Let's log into a different account. Let's see if I have access on this one. And I saved it to one of my accounts. Just getting this calculator for us, and we can talk about how to assess risk using intraday modes. And now that's the normal risk calculator. So where did I save it to? Must be in my Auvoria Google Drive. Yep, there it is. Cool. All right, so to talk about risk with instant entry or intraday, well, if you're using skip a level, we're skipping level 0, we're entering in 1. So your lot size should be 0.03 per 1K. So let's just say you had a $1,000 balance, right? Because you're only going to use one pair at a $1,000 balance with a 0.01 starting lot size. And let's talk about that. So that one pair could withstand, with these settings. All right. Actually, we need to run it on this side. Hold on. Ignore me. We gotta switch what side we're using. This side only does accounts over 10,000 and above. There's a side for large and small. So if we go over here and take a look at 1,000, this account can truthfully only withstand a 600 pip move against it in one pair. Meaning if you're trading $1,000 on skip a level, where did my notes go? You're trading $1,000 on skip a level, okay? Any of these pairs, you can only actually handle 600 pips. So basically going all the way down here to level 8. So right there is where you would blow a $1,000 account on skip a level with only one pair. If it went 600 pips against you with no retracement. So really, if you look at these pairs, many of these pairs never are going to make that kind of move. But again, this is Forex. Anything's possible. So you should always have your risk settings in place. That's why I tell you intraday is a more hands-on strategy, more managed strategy, a little bit more risky. And if you were running -1 entry, all right, takes a small account. You don't even make it to level 8. You're already at 75% there. And by level 8, you're already blown. So the point is, in that case, you can only withstand going 426 pips, maybe a little more, like 500 pips against you with no retracement on one pair if you're using $1,000 with either an intraday strategy. So you can see that that risk is much, much higher. if we were to go to, let's say 2,500 or even 3,000, right? So we can stick to the same lot size, but now you're trading 3 pairs. All right, so you actually have to multiply your risk here because this calculator is only based on 1 pair. So you would have to multiply your risk. So at what point, if you look, you can make it all the way to level 7, right? On one pair. Level 7 now gets you, and this is instant entry, keep in mind. Level 7, you handled 426 pips, you're only 24% drawdown. Well, if you did that in all 3 pairs, which if all 3 pairs went 426 pips against you with no retracement, unlikely, but it does happen. You'd be at 75%. You still would be alive, you'd still be in the game. It wouldn't be ideal, but the point is to show you that. Now, if we go back to 0 and gear entry level 1, all right, same concept, 3 pairs, 0.01 starting lot size, skip a level strategy. It would basically take you out of the game. All 3 pairs, you're in open trades on going 600 pips with no retracement against you. So that's the risk, right? So, you know, obviously the settings are kind of there. The risk is not high, but it is possible, right? You know, and these strategies are designed as more hands-on strategies for those people, like I said, who they're looking to add something outside of their traditional conservative precision account, but, you know, add something that could make them some extra dollars and they can play with a little bit more. Does anyone have any other questions for me on this amazing meeting? Thank you guys so much for tuning in on Thursday, as always. You know, it's not the largest group of you that comes in and tunes in on Thursdays. It's a very specific group, as I expected. You know, the more advanced people who had some more advanced questions, different things about the strategies that exist within GearBox. And obviously precision modes always are packed calls because that's the predominant strategy. That is the you know, the main strategy within GearBox, and intradays were just some extra things to add in there for people to be a little hands-on with and play with. Ravi, I have a question. Ravi, absolutely. Type your question, my brother. How can I help? Great question. James says, my GearBox is set up. How can I check to see if it's running trades? Great question, James. The first thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is go ahead and see that you have ghost trades being taken. So you might say, how do I know if I have a ghost trade being taken? Do you have a number higher than -1 and on one of these? So if you go to the UI, does it say -1, or does it say -1, 0, or 1, or 2, or 3? Does it say a positive number? If it says a positive number, you're trading. The next thing you want to look at is, do you have a smiley face? You got a smiley face, you're good to go. Next thing you got to think about is, are you a manual approval version user, meaning you're a US customer? If you're a US customer, anytime you have a trade notification, you're going to want to make sure that you have your trade notifications turned on. You can do that. You'll go here, enable push notifications, get your MetaQuotes ID from your phone. So anytime you do get a trade opportunity, you get alerted. I see a lot of people report they don't get trades, and come to find out they didn't know that they had to approve the trades. They didn't know that they got notifications of the trades. They didn't have notifications on. So definitely make sure you got Ravi, he said, my GearBox is not taking trade, min account balance, we can start. Yeah, absolutely, Ravi. So GearBox takes a while to get in trades. And if you're saying min account balance, meaning $250 and you're using Super Sniper, yeah, it might be 2 weeks before you get a trade, bro. Just to be completely honest with you, the more conservative your entries, the longer it takes to get a trade. And why is that? Well, let's talk about it. Yeah. Right. So Super Sniper is all these red entries, meaning on most pairs, we're waiting till gear 4. On many, we're waiting till 6. On some, we're waiting till 7. Well, if we go there, that means if we're waiting for gear 4, we're waiting for some of these pairs to have 138 pip move against us before you even take your first entry. If you're talking about some of the ones on gear 6, we're waiting on 300 pip moves to happen before we even enter, right? So we're getting very precise in our entries. So on a min account balance, using a small account on precision, it's going to be a while before you see trades. If you want to use intraday and get some more trades, absolutely, but I would not do it with that little balance. You will lose your money. So min account balance is designed for precision modes. Anything under $1,000, please do not use really the intraday modes unless you understand the risk and the potential that it can all be gone. Uh, da, 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 da. But I'm not seeing any other questions. As always, tomorrow is going to be our amazing precision call. Tune in. The precision calls, we go really in depth, high level overviews every single week of data and any questions people have. You guys have been an incredible audience today with tons of amazing questions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.